we're going to be looking at how to finish your beads. So here we have 2 beads. This is the one that we made in the first video, and you can see that it's unfinished, and you can just see how heavy and solid the bead is. And this is a smaller version. This one has been made out of 3 different beads that have been put together, and you can see that you can really make a variety of sizes of bead in this way. And this is the bead that has been finished, so you can see what we're ultimately aiming to get to, and this is where we're going to start with. So let's get going. So I've popped my bead onto a skewer, which is going to hold it nice and secure whilst I apply the finishing effects. And what I have in my pot here is a variety of different pens. I've got some Sharpies, I've got some metallic markers, I've got a real variety of different things. These are really nice to use, they're water-based. I've got a variety of silvers and golds, and they just help to really kind of make your beads pop. So for this part of the tutorial, I have speeded it up for you just so that you don't have to sit there and watch me slowly colouring in the beads. But what you can hopefully see from this part of the tutorial is that I'm just adding colour randomly. I'm not really thinking too much about it. I'm not looking to colour it and stick within any lines. I'm literally just colouring. I'm literally just adding colour as and where there are some gaps. So I'm trying not to add too much colour to any one section, but just wherever there's a gap, I'll add the next bit of colour. So I'm just keeping on building up the layers, building up the colours and seeing what happens. And you'll see that some colours are more vivid. So the blue was a lot more brighter or maybe darker than the yellow was, but the yellow is still there and it still comes through as a pop of colour. Now these metallic colours, these are really great to work with, these pens. They do provide really great coverage on your beads, and you can use them for all sorts of things. So you can use them to make this kind of bead, or you can use them to colour the ends of your beads if you wanted to kind of create a bit of a homogeneous look at the end of your beads. They really are a great pen. I do like using these pens, and they are a nice metallic colour. You know, I've used some metallics before, and you know, maybe they don't really actually end up being metallic afterwards. They kind of go a bit of a grey colour or a bit of a flat metallic, but these are a very shiny metallic, which is nice. And so you can see I'm just adding some red here, and I think that's going to give a nice pop to it as well, and just filling in all of the gaps. So just adding a bit more, whatever colour sings to you really. Just, you can either choose to use maybe a limited palette of colours and choose maybe 3 colours that you really like. Or you can just literally go with whatever colour you like. So here we go. Here's the finished bead to this point. So I've slowed this bit down just so that I can show you what glazes I'm using, because it's something that I get asked all of the time. The first glaze that I use is one by Decopatch, which is one that is predominantly for doing decoupage. So it's this Decopatch glaze that comes in this silver pot, but I know that that is not always readily available, especially to people in America. I've had quite a few people tell me that they can't get hold of it. The other glaze that I use quite a lot is Deco Arts Triple Thick, which has a blue label, and it's just about to come on the screen in a minute. I've got a large pot, and I've also got this small little handy size pot, which is quite easy to take around. But both of those glazes are a brush-on glaze, so they're not for people who dip their beads. I am always a brusher-oner of glaze, if that is the word for it. So that's the type of glaze, and I'll leave the details of them in the description box below. Okay, so now we are at the fun part. we are going to add some glaze. And this, I say it's the fun part, the whole thing is the fun part, but this is the part where everything just pops and the glaze just adds that finishing touch to it. So I am a brusher honor, and so I am just rolling my bead round just to make sure that I get that glaze all into the nooks and crannies and the crevices and the creases of the bead. And that glaze will really help to get your colours to all blend together. And here is the bead, and you can see it half done and half not done, so that you can see what it looks like once it's glazed, and you can really see how those colours start to pop and all kind of blend together, as if all of those random strokes that you made were all absolutely intentional. And this is one that I finished and I've added some diamonds to the middle of it there, and I also added some bead caps. So there we go. There is the finished process of the bead, and I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, then please leave us a like and a thumbs up, and leave a comment in the box below. So you can see here, I've just got a few more beads to show you. This one I've added a bit of glitter on. This is just to give you an idea of how you might finish your beads. I've added some ribbon to these ones to create some Christmas decorations. They almost remind me of fancy sweets that you might see in a fancy French sweet shop. But yeah, these beads are really fun to make, and they are really simple. But I think they look quite effective, and they look quite complicated to make. But actually, when you see how they're made, I think hopefully you'll realise that you can absolutely make these yourself. So thank you very much for watching, and do leave us a comment in the box below of what's your favourite type of glaze, and I'll catch you for the next video. Speak to you soon.